system development, which is lecture number 14, okay, digestive system development. So first of all, as you know, we start with the origin and the time that this system will start to form, okay? So the formation of primitive gut tube, we say usually, before we mention about the system itself as a whole. So the gut tube as an origin, who can tell me, from its name it says gut tube, okay? Means that it's an internal organ. So totally, or I said as a whole, generally, what's the origin of the gut tube? From which layer the gut tube is formed? Who can tell me? Just raise your hand, please. Group C and group A على أغلب. NG.
Endoderm.
Yes, from endoderm, generally. Okay, good. Good, NG, from endoderm. So generally we can say that it's formed from endoderm. I mean the gut tube, not the whole system together, okay? So we say that the gut tube is formed from endoderm, okay? From which endoderm? Where this endoderm came from? This endoderm is lining the yolk sac, okay? Lining the yolk sac. How this endoderm is lining the yolk sac? It lines it as a result of cranial and caudal folding process. As we mentioned before, that the organogenesis, or we call it folding process, that happen in the 4th week of embryonic development will give us folds. That means forming the guts and the gut itself. Later on, that will transform to the tract, like the digestive system tract. So we mentioned about the primitive gut tube right here. We say that the gut tube is formed from endoderm that is lining the yolk sac. I will show you in the figure right now. And this yolk sac is formed. This endoderm is formed as a result of cranial and caudal folding. Okay, so but we mentioned about the mouth, and the lower half of anal canal is formed from ectoderm. You know that we mentioned before that we have two ends, isn't it? Cranial end and caudal end. And we said before that we have the ends are formed from ectoderm and endoderm that are tightly adhere together. Okay? So we say usually the mouth and lower half of anal canal is formed from ectoderm layer. Okay? So this is an exception. So look, the longitudinal folding that we mentioned before in the both end of the embryo, and lateral folding also in each side of the embryo, will give us, or which will bring the endoderm inside. Look, we have ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm, as you know, which we call it a trilaminar embryonic disc or trilaminar germ disc, will undergo a folding process, and this will bring the endoderm to the inside and leave the ectoderm in the outside. Okay, so as you see, we have we will have this folding process in each side. I mean, in the longitudinal except, and we have also in the lateral sides. So the yolk sac that's going inside will bring also the endoderm to the inside, okay, forward the inside, and we will have a gut that we call it future gut or primitive gut tube, okay? That will be future digestive tube. So look at here, this is the future canal, and this is the future opening between the mouth and pharynx, okay? So it will form the gut itself inside the embryo body at this time. Look, the gut will divide into 3 parts that we call foregut, midgut, and hindgut. Okay, foregut, midgut, and hindgut. So foregut will have derivatives. okay, or will form parts of the digestive system. Look, the foregut will undergo formation of pharynx, esophagus, stomach, the first and the half of the second part of the duodenum, okay, liver and gallbladder, pancreas and respiratory system, okay, or let's say respiratory tracts that is near to the digestive tract, okay. While we have the midgut that will form the half of the second and third with the fourth part of the duodenum. Look, the remainder part of the duodenum. This will form by midgut. And we'll have the other parts of the digestive system like jejunum, ileum, appendix, or cecum, okay, with the ascending colon, okay, the two-third part of the transverse colon. While the hindgut will form the left, okay, the first of the third of the transverse colon, okay. So look, they are connected to each other, forming each part of the digestive system, parts and tract, okay. So descending colon is also formed by hindgut, okay, sigmoid colon, rectum, upper half of the anal canal, okay, and primitive urogenital derivatives also are formed by hindgut, okay. Is it clear? You need to know about, each part of the digestive system or each part of this parts are formed by foregut, midgut, or hindgut. Okay. So the development of the esophagus. So it's formed by fourth week of embryonic development. Okay. So whenever the respiratory diverticulum, look at here, will appear, means that firstly this will appear, the respiratory diverticulum, okay, let me show you it clearer, okay, so whenever this respiratory diverticulum appear, okay, how is the location? It will be ventral to the wall of the foregut, okay, ventral to the wall of the foregut, okay, means the first part of the digestive tract. So look, it means that at the fourth week of embryonic development, the respiratory diverticulum will appear at the ventral wall of what? Of the foregut. Okay, then the trachea will develop. نعم.
شوية عربي.
لا ماكو عربي، بالعملي عربي. اوكي.
تمام.
بالعملي عربي راح يصير، بس هسه لا. تعلموا شوية. اوكي، بالعملي ارجع اشرح لكم اياها بالعربي همين ان شاء الله.
ماشي.
زين. The trachea develops from where? From its ventral border of what? Of this respiratory diverticulum. Okay, so the esophagus later on will develop from posterior part. Okay, look, the esophageal tracheal septum, there will be formed later on. They will develop between them. Okay, so we will have the pharynx, then trachea with esophagus. So look at here, we have something like they rely on each other. First part will form, then later on from this part they will take the storage of the endoderm, then they will form themselves. Like, look, first of all we have a respiratory diverticulum, then we're gonna have a trachea, okay, the trachea from this part, then this will form the pharynx, later on the esophagus, okay. So they will rely on each other in forming themselves. Okay, then they will. The septum between the esophageal tracheal septum, they will form between them. Okay, so it's step by step. واضح؟ يعني واحد يعتمد على الآخر. تكوين الأجزاء اللي هي موجودة بالفورغات. Okay, so the development of the stomach. What's wrong? The development of the stomach starts with the dilation of the foregut. Okay, fusiform dilation of the foregut. This will happen also in the fourth week of embryonic development. شوفوا معظم الأجزاء أقول معظم systems inside the vital system inside the embryo body start to form in the fourth week of embryonic development. Why? Because we said that this time or this week is called as organogenesis, means that the organs start to form. So do not mix the period of the formation of these systems. Look, again, the development of the stomach appears by fusiform dilation of what? Of the foregut. This happened in the fourth week. Okay? And subsequently, look,
دكتورة
I say subsequently, yes.
يعني الإسفاجس والستومك بنفس الوقت يعني يظهر بنفس بالأسبوع الرابع.
لا اي اكيد الاسبوع الرابع، بس شلون؟ يعني خلينا نقول مثل ما قلت لكم respiratory diverticulum اللي حكينا عليه هنا هي اللي تبدي تظهر firstly. بعدين شو راح يصير؟ خطوة واحد يساعد الثاني يكون لنا الأجزاء الباقية إلى أن يوصل
مع
الإيزوفيجس.
الاستومك.
أوكي؟ اللي هي بداية خلينا نقول digestive the foregut of the digestive system tract. واضح؟
تمام.
فهو واحد ورا الثاني خلينا نقول، احنا نقول fourth week، week نقول، ما نقول ساعات والدايز. والامبريو هو ينمو خلال ساعات، نموه كلش سريع يعني. كان اكو بروف العام هو اللي كان يدرس مادة النظري الامبريولوجي، كان ما شاء الله كان مستوى يعني. فكان يقول لي انه يمكن نساله يعني صراحه انه الامبريو هل هو يحتاج ايام او يحتاج ساعات؟ يقول ان احنا ممكن بريطانيا نسوي ابحاث عليها، ما كنا نلحق على سرعه انقسام الخلايا وتكوين الاجزاء داخل الامبريو. عرفتوا؟ فيعني هي يعني شو نقول، خلينا نقول دي سابق الوقت انه حيكون نفسه. فهو من يقول لك فورث ويك، فهذا شيء مجرد انه يحدد لك، العلماء يريدون يحددوا لك انه
يعني يجوز بنهاية الأسبوع أو بدايته ما
لا
معين.
ما في نهاية الأسبوع بداية الأسبوع، طبعا يعتمد على الإمبريو، يعتمد على الإمبريو نفسه، ويعتمد على خلينا نقول السبلمنت اللي دا ياخذه، وشلون وضعه خلينا نقول داخل الرحم، وخلينا نقول البلود سبلمنت how fast are going or how it's normal are going to the embryo itself. Okay, but as standard time they always say 4th week of embryonic development. لأنه هم حددوها fourth week of embryonic development as organogenesis process. واضح؟
تمام.
احنا ما نقدر نحدد هذا صار وذاك صار، لا. يقول لك العلماء انه fourth week of embryonic development is called as organogenesis، وانه formation of these organs or tracts they are happen in this way. It's happened in this way. انه مثلا على سبيل المثال respiratory diverticulum هو اللي يظهر بالبدايه، هم هيك شايفين انه هذا ظهر، وراها انه بدا التراكيا يظهر. زين عرفت شلون قصدي شنو؟
فهمت.
هو عامة جميع انه انتم تفهموها بهالطريقه، انه ما نقدر نحدد هيجي هذا كلام شخص بروفيسور كان. كنت اتمنى انه يبقى هو اللي يعطيكم الماده، بس يعني راحوا خلاها على راسي.
لا ليش دكتورة انت والله ما بيش قصرة، بس من تشرحين عربي نفتهم يعني.
ايه تحتاجون عربي انتم. والله دكتور حامد ما كان يشرح بالعربي، ما ذكر كان يشرح اي شيء بالعربي. Yes, raising your hand. Who has a question? Who has a question? أكيد أنت محمد. أشوف منه. Yes, محمد سعد. Tell me. Yeah. Look, I was explaining this. Yes. Yeah. Yes, exactly. But at this time, we can't say that the respiratory. Yeah, you will say that respiratory system forms before digestive system tract, isn't it? But we can say they're at the same time. We don't know the exact time that that will, I can say, that will give you the exact time how they formed or when they formed, okay? Since they are connected to each other. Hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And there is something that they rely on each other. So if we don't have a respiratory diverticulum, the other part will not form. Maybe they will form if there is a congenital malformation. Okay. Look, at the end of this lecture, I mean, after the digestive system development, I just attempt to give you some congenital malformation about the system generally. So you can see that whenever we have a lack of formation of the first part of something, we can see that there will be a misformation or misfunctioning inside this digestive systems, or let's say in the systems itself. So we're going to have a congenital malformation in the system as a whole. Could you get it? Yeah. Sometimes no. Sometimes it can be multifactorial. Okay, as we mentioned it before. I couldn't hear. Okay. Let's continue. Okay. طلاب إذا ما فهمتوا أو شيء مو واضح خلال الشرح عادي وقفوني ممكن أعيد عليكم أو شوية أوضحها. بس مثل ما تعرفوا إحنا بالعمل يهمنا راح نرجع
مو شغلة ما فهمنا.
نعم.
بس ما سمعنا السؤال يعني.
شغلة إنجليزي.
سؤال محمد. لا والله مو شغلة إنجليزي.
ها محمد شنو سأل؟ محمد سعد. أوكي. سألني سؤال إنه إذا مثل ما أنا دا أقول إنه الريسبيراتوري الدايفرتيكولوم مثل ما شرحتها هنا اللي هي اللي بدأت تبدي قبل، صح ولا لا؟ هي اللي بدأت بالتكوين. فأنا يعني هذا إنه respiratory system تكون قبل digestive system. صح ولا لا؟ حسب تفكيره هو يقول. زين جوابي لأنه at the same time هم يتكونون. يجوز إنه فرق بسيط بس ماكو مصدر يقول لك respiratory system يتكون قبل digestive system.
واضح دكتورة.
لأنه هو اللي بداها، صح، هو اللي بداها، بس احنا will form before digestive system. Okay.
تمام.
Okay, so development of the stomach. We said that first of all we have there will be a fusiform dilation will appear in the foregut part in the fourth week of development. Then we said that there will a position change will happen. Okay, position change will happen. شنو يعني هذا؟ يعني إنه the stomach, let's say, it will form in a location there will be a rotation for this stomach in order to have the right place inside the digestive system part. Okay, so look at here. It says that the stomach rotates in the 90 degree in the clockwise around, and this will be in the longitudinal axis. I will show you in the figure. Then this stomach also will rotate around in anterior posterior axis, and this will result with having a caudal end that we call it pyloric part. Pyloric part. Then another moving will happen upward and to the right, and this will give us a cranial end that we call it cardiac part. Okay. Then this will have downward and to the left. أدري هاي راح صارت خربطة عليكم. أول شيء راح يصير عندنا rotating 90 degree. شوفوها 90. شوف, look, this is the stomach in the rotation process. I mean in the beginning of the formation of the stomach, there will be. ليش أنا بدي mention about the rotation? Because it's important. You don't need to know how this rotation happened. Like we have anterior rotation, then we'll have in the lateral axis, but you need to know that there will be some rotations. راح يصير عندنا دوران للstomach in order to have all parts in its right place. Okay, look, we have longitudinal rotation axis in order to have this shape of the stomach. Then there will be another, during this development, there will be another rotation that will be anterior-posterior axis. Okay, this will give us the cardiac end and let's say the pyloric end. Okay, so look, this is the curvative curvature, and there will be lesser curvature for the stomach itself. So this rotation that happened, just I mean, you need to know that the rotation inside the embryo body will happen for also the muscles, the digestive parts, in order to have the right location for this part of the digestive part. I mean, the digestive system. Okay, so the formation of the digium. The formation طبعا هي كلش مفصلة، يعني أنا مشيتها المحاضرة العام مجرد اختصارات أيتكم بس تعرفون إنه أكو rotation، شو وقت يبدي يتكون، plus what's the origin of this part. Okay, so regarding the development of the digium, it will start to develop in two sources. Okay, two sources: the caudal part of the foregut and also cranial part of the midgut. مثل ما احنا يعني حكينا عنها بهذا الجدول، قلنا انه we will have the first and the second part of the digium starting from foregut, and the second, third and fourth parts of the digium will form from midgut. إذن عنده sourcing foregut and midgut. Okay, so look, it will gives origin to what. هاي النقطة كلش مهمة تعرفوها، إنه the tract itself can give origin for the other parts like hepatic and pancreatic buds. Okay, so gives origin to the hepatic and pancreatic buds from its ventral wall of the caudal end of the foregut. Okay, so also it has the dorsal mesodigium, and look, the digium itself will also rotate 90 degrees to the right with the stomach till it rests on abdominal wall with the right convexity. Look, it says that نحتاج إنه يصير عندنا دوران بدرجة 90 حتى شو يصير إنه يجي للموقع الأصلي اللي هو abdominal wall. أوكي، لأنه راح يتكون بمكان هو ليس المكان الحقيقي الموجود داخل الجسم الجنين. أوكي، ليش؟ لأنه already قلنا إنه راح ينطي الأوريجين للهيباتيك and pancreatic parts. أوكي، فهو شنو؟ يعني واحد يكون الثاني وهو مو بالموقع الأصلي، يحتاج روتيشن حتى يجي للموقع الأصلي الموجود داخل الأمبريو. أوكي، so the development of the liver. The development of the liver means that the hepatic bud develops from what? We say from the digium, that is the foregut, okay? And it divides into two parts. We call it hepatica part and pars cystica, okay? And the pars cystica will undergo canalization and gives us a gallbladder and cystic duct. Look, تشوفون شلون واحد معتمد على الثاني يكونون الأجزاء الموجودة، خلينا نقول الأورجانز اللي موجودة داخل الدايجستيف سيستم معتمدة على بعض، جدا معتمدة على بعض، فأي خطأ موجود بأي جزء راح يؤدي إنه يكون عندنا إشكال في الجزء اللي راح يليه، خلينا نقول. واضح؟ زين. The last part اللي أنا أشوفه إنه تحتاجون تعرفوه development of the pancreas. قلنا هو develops from dorsal and ventral pancreatic buds. Look, as we said, they rely on each other. So that arise from endoderm of what? Of the digium. Okay, endoderm of the digium. Then the dorsal pancreatic bud will grow more rapidly than the ventral soon. What it will give us, then this will extend dorsally behind the digium. Look at here. How the stomach, then there will be the gallbladder, liver buds. Okay, from this side there will be a ventral pancreatic bud and dorsal pancreatic bud. Okay, then look, this says that in the 35 days, this is the 30 days, then the 35 days, there will be an initially and ventral pancreatic buds. Okay, look at the development that happened. Okay, and how they are close to the liver. Okay. كل اللي تحتاجون تعرفوها إنه how they relate on each other, which part form the other part. I mean, which part is starting the formation of the other part. واضح؟ طبعا بالعمل راح يصير أوضح. راح أختصرها أكثر لكم حتى شلون نقول فهموها بشكل أعمق. So any question? أدري إيه أنا الحضور خليته بالأخير. الجماعة اللي ينهزمون ليس عندهم حضور. Any question? Is there any question? Yeah, it's complicated. It's right, but yeah, related on each other. So you need to know everything. Let's say you need to memorize everything. Okay, Mohammed? This is الحقيقة يعني. هذا الحقيقة اللي موجودة جواكم. ما أدري بعد مين كان قال لكم إنه الطب يحتاج إنه بس تكون ذكي تفهم. يحتاج إنك تحفظ وصار عندك حافظة يعني شو نقول good memory in order to memorize and know everything, isn't it? Okay, so يعني الحضور please كتبوا أساميكم باللغة العربية من ضمنها مروة صائب Patient please write your name in Arabic okay زهرة محمد زيرة كيتشي لأنه فعلا تتعبوني من أنزل حضوركم okay
دكتورة وين الحضور؟ الرابط اللي نزلتيه ما يفتح.
دكتورة الفورم ما يطلع
أدري أنا أصلا بعدني ما منزل الفورم يا فورم اللي ما يطلع يومكم بس أدفن هسه نزلت
مال الحضور.
دكتورة وانت نزلتي بالكلاس رابط هم يعني ما ادري.
لا ذاك مال الأسبوع اللي فات